Dub, my God, what's going on, bro?
Can't call it, bro. Can't call it. How you doing?
I can't complain, bro. It's been a great weekend in sports. A lot of boxing, a lot of football, playoff implications. Yo, before we say anything, man, we just want to send out our heartfelt, um, we uplifting DeMar Hamlin right now. Man, we hear he's making a great recovery, speedy recovery, remarkable in terms of him being able to speak, breathing on his own. So, everybody's great and elated to hear that news. So sending our well wishes to him and his family, the Buffalo Bills organization. Before we get into what we got to talk about today, we need the gift that keeps on giving. What could it be, Doug?
Got to give us that COS treatment, that comment, that like, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into it.
So, Doug, man, big game tomorrow. We got another game today that we didn't mention for all the marbles. The FCS Championship, formerly D1AA, North Dakota State, South Dakota State, tipping off here at 2 p.m. That'll be a big game. Shout out to the Jackrabbits on their quest to finally beat their rival.
They're not going to beat the Jackrabbits. Not going to beat them, man. I watched them play.
They already beat them this season.
They're not going to beat them though. Not for all the marbles.
We'll see.
I watched them play. They were playing some other school in the playoffs a few weeks ago. They were like white and purple. I can't remember the name of the team.
Oh, okay.
I was watching it on
ESPN. It might be Northern Illinois.
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're not beating North Dakota State, bro. So I digress. Yeah, absolutely.
I got South Dakota State. We'll see. We gotta talk about that one later. But tomorrow, for all the marbles, hey, I'm not an I told you so guy, but I've been talking about the Horned Frogs all year. I've been talking about what they bring to the table. They got, again, best corner in the nation, Thorpe Award winner, and Tomlinson. They've got an offense, a top receiver who's been playing big all season. And, hey, man, they made it happen against Michigan against all odds when a lot of people thought that they couldn't do it, that they wouldn't be physical enough. But this is going to be the biggest test that they've had thus far, going in and playing against the Georgia Bulldogs. They are a 12.5-point underdog. It's one of those games where everything is written like, hey, there's no way that TCU can win the game. Everybody is putting the money on Georgia. Everybody is talking about the SEC. Everybody would expect that the Big 12 can't hang in a game like this. I'm going to tell you why I've got TCU winning in just a moment. But, Dub, let me know what you think. Who do you have, Georgia or TCU?
Well, what I think is the viewers should give us that COS treatment, that comment, like, and subscribe. But to get into it, man, I got Georgia, man. I mean, TCU, they've had a remarkable season. I like Sonny Dykes as the head coach.
Coach of the year. Should be coach of the year.
Hands down, coach of the year, man. But when it comes to that Georgia football, man, the guys play really good defense. The offense is not as pedestrian as it used to be, but I do think that they can put up enough points on the board to go ahead and make this I'm not going to say it's not going to be a blowout, but I don't think it's going to be a close game. I think Kirby Smart is now he comes from that Nick Saban coaching tree. I think Kirby Smart is the new Nick Saban of the SEC. That's just me. So I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I do think that it won't be a close game.
Okay, so you got them winning it big.
Yeah, I got them winning by 2 touchdowns.
I think it would be the easier pick to have Georgia winning, right? Like it's one of those situations where, like, why wouldn't Georgia win? I think the keys to it though are that we've seen what TCU can do when they're able to make big plays. For me, one of the keys is going to be competing up front. So making sure that they don't lose that battle in the trenches. So we know how big Georgia is up front. We know what type of players they have. But we saw what TCU was able to do at Michigan. And I think arguably up front, Michigan is probably about the same size or maybe a little bigger than Georgia. And TCU was able to dominate for, I would say 30 minutes of that game. They were able to dominate, and it wasn't really close. To me, the game wasn't ever close. There were times where Michigan could have, had a chance to win, but TCU just kept making big plays. That's going to be a key against Georgia. Take the shots downfield. Get the ball to Quentin Johnston. Quentin Johnston is projected as the top receiver on the board in this year's draft. Top 10 pick overall. The guy is 6'4". He's got the speed to stretch the field. You got to feed him the ball. He's going to have the advantage over the Georgia corners. Get him the ball. I would say on defense, don't give up the big play. We've seen that Georgia has a tendency to run these flea flickers where they're trying to get the ball all the way downfield, passing it back to the quarterback and him taking a shot downfield. So compete up front, make the big play, avoid giving up huge yardage. And I think they've got to get to the quarterback. They've got to sack the quarterback. They've got to ruffle Georgia's feathers to the point where whatever game plan they come in with, they hit them in the mouth early, and Georgia has to go into halftime regrouping. I think that's the key to the game. TCU coming out, playing with their heads on fire, similar to what they did in the Michigan game. And I think they're going to win this football game, man. I think the stars are just aligning. TCU, if you think about it, with the exception of a couple of plays, a couple of bad calls, I would say, on the coach, although they do have what I believe to be the coach of the year, with the exception of a couple of bad calls in the Kansas State game when they went into overtime in the Big 12 championship, this is a team that would be undefeated, mind you. Georgia should have never got past Ohio State. I blame that on coaching in terms of Ohio State giving up that lead, losing to Georgia.
A dub is a dub.
A dub is a dub.
A dub is a dub.
From dub, a dub
is a dub. No matter what it looks like.
No, it don't matter what it looks like. I 100% agree with you. I'm just simply saying that I feel out of the 4 teams that were in the playoff, TCU to me is the best all-around team. From special teams, when you look at the 3 phases of the game, from special teams to defense to offense, they're the best all-around team. I think with the exception of C.J. Stroud, TCU has the best quarterback out of those 4 teams that were in the playoff. To me, C.J. Stroud is the best, but I think you got to put TCU's quarterback right behind that. And, if they go in, they execute, and they don't get afraid of the moment. That's what I think happens to a lot of teams when you're this big of an underdog, when you got, a week leading up to it where everybody's talking about how could you possibly win? Georgia's trying to repeat. You can't get afraid of that moment. If these players are able to block out the distractions, go and play the type of football that they play all year long, TCU is going to be crowned national champions tomorrow night, without a doubt.
No, absolutely. It's a possibility, but I don't think that's going to happen. On a side note, so the team that I was referring to earlier, I knew it had Holy in it. It was Holy Cross that they played.
Oh, they played Holy Cross.
Yeah,
okay.
The Jackrabbits. Yeah, I mean, they did blow them out, but when I was watching the game, it was pretty tight until the 4th quarter. So,
well, what did you just tell me? A dub is a dub.
A dub is a dub.
A dub is a dub.
A dub is
I'm
a dub.
going with the Jackrabbits tonight. South Dakota State to finally beat their foe.
I don't think so. We'll see, though.
We'll see. We'll see, man. Listen, Dub and I love doing this, man. We appreciate y'all for engaging with us. We appreciate the folks that have subscribed thus far. But if you haven't yet, we don't ask for a lot. We don't need the Toyota. We don't need the Honda, the Hyundai. We don't need the Mazda. We need the Mercedes-Benz treatment. Not the S-Class, not the E-Class, not the B-Class, whatever else class they got. We need that CLS. Comment, like, subscribe. Dub and I will be back with more from me in the arena.
Till next time.
Peace. It's good stuff.
Yep. Nice. Hey, we got through 4.